I moved around a lot. I lived in a lot of different places. And I will say I've been the happiest that I think I've ever been living in Korea.
That is the beauty of Seoul. I can say that much. Here, you really can like do anything you want to. Like there's always an opportunity in whatever direction you decide to go.
Like there's more foreign-owned businesses as well that are coming and bringing their authentic food, so it's amazing. Like Ethiopian food, Moroccan food, there's Nigerian food.
I have tried a wider variety of food in Seoul than I did in the States.
Yes.
But when I first like walked into my apartment, I just like wanted to cry because it was like the size of a closet, and I was like, what am I supposed to do? Personally, as a African-American male, feel safety within the police force here.
I go exercising like 4 a.m. if I can't sleep.
Bringing Korea one slice closer to the world. This is KPC, the Korean Pizza Club podcast. Welcome to the show. We have some special guests as usual. We have a regular guest here, actually. Revisiting guest. Yeah. Should we go with you first, Vaughn?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. So hey everybody, my name is Vaughn. If you haven't got to see me before, I'm an American model living here in Seoul, and I'm glad to be here.
Okay, yeah. Go watch the other episode Vaughn was in. You'll get to know more about him. Yeah. Okay, and
Hi everyone, I'm Renee Simone. I'm also an American model, actor, dancer here in Seoul, South Korea. Nice to meet you.
nice to meet you, Renee. And your voice is so cute.
Yeah, it's so cute.
Yeah, it's so cute. Okay. And we have Shannon.
Yeah, hi guys. I am Shannon Harper. I'm also an American model, singer, actress here in Seoul, and it's nice to be here. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you everybody for coming. And coincidentally, I didn't know this at all, but you guys are all from the States.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. So, I mean, we have some very talented, attractive people here. They're all like models, you know, acting and music, all that kind of stuff. So it's going to be a fun ride. Introducing today's topic, it is how happy are you living in Korea or Seoul as a foreigner? Yay. Such a happy topic, right? Yeah. And I want to ask you guys, how happily are you two married?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what's it been like, guys?
So we're happily married. We're married for a good bit now.
You can see our pictures online.
Exactly,
Yeah, you're the pictures.
Yeah.
Amazing pictures, yeah.
Renee, your wedding dress was gorgeous.
Thank you.
Paid a lot of money for that.
But yeah, you want to reveal it? Or what? Should we go on with it? Or?
Guys, we did a photo shoot together, and after that photo shoot, everyone and their mom thinks that we're like actually married
We're a
for like 10
couple,
years.
yeah. Like people have reached out to us like separately, like asking about the other person. Yeah.
I got so many DMs like from random people, plus like friends I haven't talked to in like years. They're like, yeah, so your boyfriend's great.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, thank you.
Exactly. I put our pictures like even on Facebook because of course my family wants to see what I'm up to. And they're like, oh, your girlfriend's so beautiful. Like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
that's crazy though. Like, Vaughn, you were talking about like a client that called through you to reach Renee.
Yeah, it was an agent actually that was like trying to reach her, and they were like, it was like 8 a.m, and they were like trying to get to Renee.
Where's your wife?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Like, where is she?
So I was like, hey Renee, I don't know what this is about, but
That's
So it
crazy.
worked though. Like you were able to reach her.
I was able to reach her.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, but like,
It's a little bit rude, right?
it is
Yeah.
really rude because
Yeah.
I was going to message in the morning anyways, you know, but I saw his message and I was like, oh no, gotta nip this in the butt. That's so unprofessional.
Okay, so yeah, that's crazy. We put it out there now. They're not married.
We're not sorry, guys. We're
Don't
not
reach
married. You
out
can
to
ship
them,
us.
Yeah,
You
it's okay.
you guys can ship them.
I don't know. I feel like people always think Vaughn is dating one of us
Yeah,
because
really?
because Vaughn and I work together a lot. We do like a lot of event
Yeah.
planning and stuff
Uh-huh.
together, and we're always next to each other anyway because we're like best friends. So people also think that we're dating sometimes.
We're always really close. We're dressed nice, like
Yeah.
really close on each other. So that
Oh
was
my
like, that's your
God.
girlfriend, right?
No.
Read the room.
Okay, it seems like you guys are living your happy life here. But, yeah. So let's go into the topic today. So I got an interesting article. The topic didn't come out of thin air. So there's this Korea Herald article recently that provides some statistics by Seoul City. And it says that foreign residents of Seoul were happier than their Korean neighbors. A poll conducted by Seoul City recently. And the happiness index, I don't know what that is, but like apparently there's some measure of happiness there. And the happiness index of foreign residents in Seoul was higher than that of the city's Korean residents, according to the survey of 20,000 families. And over half of the foreign respondents, 56.3%, said they wish to continue to live in Seoul, and 57.1% said that they would recommend living in Seoul to other foreigners. So yeah, what do you think about this article in general? Do you agree to
Well,
this?
I do want to note that like the article does specifically touch on Seoul. So like I have like foreigner friends in Busan who would probably have like a different experience.
Right.
But overall, I would say like my experience here has become a lot more positive.
What's the shade about Busan? I'm a Busan
No,
guy.
no,
I'm offended. Like, what do you mean by it might be different in Busan?
Anya, no tea, no shade. I just meant like if the study was just Seoul, like there's so much more to Korea than just Seoul.
Right,
But I would say overall now like my happiness is a lot better than it was. I think like getting started here because I came here during COVID, so my experience at first was wildly different than a lot of my friends, probably way different than Renee, who's kind of been here through both parts of it,
before and after.
But I would say recently it's been a lot better. Like the energy in general has just been really positive. And,
I mean, compared to COVID, it was depressing times back then. You couldn't even go out and stuff, all the masks.
Yeah, lockdown was real, guys.
It was it was intense for sure.
So you've been here for like max 3 years then?
It'll be 2.5 years next month. Yeah.
Oh, 2.5 years.
Yeah.
I didn't ask you guys, how long have you been here?
So I've also been here pre-COVID. So I came at the end of 2018.
Okay.
So, and I also, I lived in Busan for a year, so and then moved up to Seoul. So I got to experience both of them.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Okay.
Like about 4 years, complete years.
4 years.
Yeah.
So Renee's like the most humbe here.
Yeah, right.
Korea pro here. Okay. So yeah, Shannon pretty much agrees, but it might be different between Seoul and other cities, right?
Yeah.
And what about you, Vaughn?
So I would say that I agree with the article. Like me growing up, I moved around a lot. I lived in a lot of different places. And I will say I've been the happiest that I think I've ever been living in Korea.
Wow.
And like I said, I lived in Busan and then I moved up to Seoul right before COVID happened. So I've been here ever since. But I think it's just like, I don't know, I got to really grow into myself here in a way that I didn't when I was back in the States. And then also like, it's about the people that you surround yourself with. And I was fortunate enough to find like a good group of like-minded people and people striving towards the same things I was interested in.
Okay.
And I think even to meet other foreigners that live in Korea, like you have to be a certain kind of person to move to another country. Like I know people in my hometown that have never left or like have never left the States or even left our state.
Right.
So like you meet people that are on the same mindset as you when you live abroad.
I do feel like that plays a big role in like our experience here, like in Korea as foreigners, like people that were brave enough to go out and do their own thing. Like I feel like I was able to find myself. I feel like I was able to kind of learn a lot about me, what I'm capable of. And then like you said, like Vaughn was the first person that I met here.
Oh, really?
Wait, should we tell that story?
Can we tell that story?
Yeah, go for it.
So,
oh, man.
So the way that we met, everybody always asks us. Everybody always asks us how we know each
So
other.
he was literally the first person.
Because
Wow.
because like I said, I came during COVID, and so the restrictions at the time were like when you came here, you had to do the mandatory 2 weeks of quarantine before you could go out and do anything. And I originally like one of the reasons I came here was I had a sorority sister named Adrienne, and she wanted to introduce me to friends in Seoul. So she asked me to come to dinner when I first got out of quarantine. She was like, hey, I'm in Seoul. Would it be okay if I brought a friend? And I was like, oh my gosh, please. Like I would love to meet somebody else. And so I get to dinner and
no, how did we meet first?
uh-oh. So
What? Where's this going? What's the laughing? Yeah.
So a couple months prior to like when I first got here, I was on Facebook searching because I originally came here as a teacher for a little bit.
You were on Facebook?
Oh, just
how old are you?
Listen.
Just kidding.
The shade.
Yeah, just kidding.
Today.
Who uses Facebook?
this is the library, guys. We're reading each other now.
Okay, Facebook. Yeah.
But I was on Facebook because I had gotten a teaching job, and then like a week before I was supposed to fly out, they canceled on me. They were like, "Hey, sorry, there's no more job. Like our school got wiped out because of COVID. We don't have a position for you." But I already had an apartment. I already had a flight. So I was in full panic mode because like I had already quit my job. Like I had arranged everything to move to Korea. And so I was in a panic on Facebook, like, hey, does anyone have a teaching job? Like I will come wherever. So one of the people that messaged me was this guy named Vaughn.
Wait, you were on Facebook too?
I was like, hey, I'm not revealing my age.
Okay.
And so he messaged me and he sent me this like message about like, hey, you look like a great fit. I think you'd be great. I sent a couple messages back and forth. And then he kept talking to me and then I didn't respond.
My school was so happy to have her. And like I guess everything was set up and she was supposed to come work at our school. And then they're like, what happened to your friend? Like, she's not responding. So she's not responding to them. Then she's not responding to me. And I'm like,
so it's like you technically ghosted.
She ghosted me.
Yeah,
straight up ghosted me.
Shannon exposed.
Listen, okay. In my defense, like I was taking like the first best option that came. So when I got one, I focused on that.
Okay.
And I didn't actually talk to the school directly. So I didn't ghost the school. I just was ghosted one.
That makes it better.
So,
thanks. I didn't know.
Again, like, listen, like, guys, I'm blushing. Okay, so I was like, you know what? I'm moving to Seoul. I'm never gonna see this person. There's millions of people.
Whoa.
Whatever. The first dinner that I go to, Adrian, she brought him, and like,
that's crazy.
So when I walked in, it was like this takgalbi place. I walked in, and like, I was like, oh hi, and he goes, you ghosted me on Facebook.
She came in all sweet. She's like, hi.
Oh my god!
I know who you are.
And yeah, I was exposed immediately, but we've been best friends ever since.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Okay.
We had a good time.
Yeah, happily ever after.
Yeah, but anyways, so go out and meeting friends is like one of the best ways to like really broaden your experience and have a good time here as a foreigner for sure.
Okay,
yeah,
but don't ghost them.
You never know who you're gonna run into.
But okay, yeah, as long as you guys are happy after that, that's fine. Okay, what about you, Renee? Yeah.
I would say there are lots of good things about Korea, but again, Seoul is just a city, and there are so many other places like countryside, we would like to say, that some foreigners would feel more comfortable with. So I wish the study would have broadened its horizon and interviewed more people, but I will say that the majority or concentration of foreigners do live in Seoul. It is like the job hub, and in terms of everything that you guys said, I 100% agree. When you have that community, despite what you might go through, like everyday things that we go through in the States, right, with banking, etc., it makes it a lot easier.
Okay. I mean, I think I recognize like the common thing you guys mentioned right now is pretty much community.
For sure.
You have to have community here. So like before we get into like the layers of what makes you happy living in here, like community, I'll throw you a philosophical question. What is happiness? What makes you happy? Like, how would you define happiness?
For me, the best way I can describe it is when I feel like I can breathe.
Yeah,
like
that's what I was thinking too, like a sense of freedom, to like to come and go as you please, make your own decisions, to do what is like something that you like or something that brings you fulfillment, something that brings you contentment. That's what I think happiness is. It's like more or less to do with freedom, which is something I didn't feel like I really had back in the States. Not in the same way, at least. Like, but like here.
Wait, I thought.
Like
sorry,
freedom.
but I thought the States were the land of freedom.
Home of the brain.
No, I mean, there's definitely like freedom that comes with living in America too, but I just mean like in the sense of personal freedom. I was able to find that way more easily here in Seoul, but I was given the opportunity to do so because I came here by myself.
Okay. So you guys think happiness is related to freedom in some sense?
I would say
fulfillment, freedom, contentment, and safety.
Safety.
Yeah, safety.
Okay, like basic needs and all that kind of stuff, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, my definition is a little bit easier. It's like the opposite of being unhappy. So like as long as you get all the unhappy things out of your way, then that means you're in a happy state. So I always think like that. So yeah.
Like basic needs being met.
Exactly. Exactly. It's a premise. Yeah.
I say also like feeling that spark too inside to like that drives your ambition. Like that's when I'm the happiest too.
The highest part of the Maslow's hierarchy.
Basically. I guess when it's like the spark is like more about like your passion and your ambition rather than just like the fight to survive for those things that you need, like you were saying.
Right. So, okay. So since you guys mentioned community first, please share us your experience in Korea on how the community here makes you guys happy and stuff.
I'll make it light because I've been through a few things that people would deem not as happy, but I would say because of the friendships that I have in Korea, I was able to go through them, like dealing with crazy companies or illegal doings. Because you are a foreigner in the country, don't forget. So you have to know what your rights are and what resources are available to you. And it definitely helped that there were loving, amazing Korean people and foreigners, foreign friends and Korean friends who are able to step in and say, hey, something's not right. I'm here for you, which is amazing, right? Because, in the States, you kind of have your family to do that for you. They're the ones that are fighting for you, but you're a foreigner in this country, strangers who are coming to your aid. So That's what's
that's
prolonged my time
definitely
here,
big.
meeting amazing people.
Okay. So where do you meet these amazing people and how do you like get into the community? Yeah.
So you go on Facebook.
No, wait.
I don't think that's
that's actually how I met my first group of friends in Busan.
Yeah,
For real?
There is there's Facebook groups called like Seoul expats or like foreigner expats groups.
Okay.
And they are like, they're both informational, but also there is sometimes some people will post like opportunities for a meetup, or someone that just joined the group that is just moving to Korea. They'll be like, hey, I'm new here. I just want to make friends. Does anyone want to hang out? And like, it really does work sometimes. And obviously take precaution when you do stuff like that, because everyone is a stranger at the end of the day. But it is a good way if like you kind of are hitting a point where you're like very lonely and you don't want to kind of struggle with that. It's at least an option.
Okay.
And for those who are interested in learning Korean as well, of course, with caution, but there's Kolcom, which is pretty big. They have so many branches, both in Seoul and outside of Seoul. And it's like a language exchange where people meet at a specific time each week. And 1 hour or 2 hours will be English. The other hour will be Korean. So you can network that way as well.
Yeah, I really think if you don't have like that company or friends or emotional support, you would be pretty much unhappy if you're in an overseas country all by yourself.
You can get to a very like dark place without that sense of
I can
support.
imagine, right? I've been through exchange student period myself, and for the first half of it, you know, I was lonely. I didn't know anybody, but ever since I started to get to know the locals and the students there, Singapore is now my favorite place. Yeah, because of the people I met there and stuff. So yeah, I do definitely agree that community, people brings you happiness. Yeah. And Vaughn, anything more to add on that?
I mean, going based off of what Renee said, I mean, it's all about having that support system like we've been talking about. And I think that if I never had that, I wouldn't have had the kind of experience that I've had in Korea. Because like even when I moved to Busan, I lived in Myeongji Ocean City, which is far away from do you know it?
I don't know where
exactly. It's so countryside, but it's it's a new city. But there were me and 2 other foreigners, but like we didn't get to see each other often. And if I wanted to do anything, I had to travel over an hour to get into like Busan. But like I said, I ended up being on one of the Facebook groups. Somebody was looking to buy a phone. I was looking to sell my phone. Ended up not working out. But they were like, I was like, yeah, I'm new here though. And they were like, oh, I'm having a birthday party. Come. And then I met like a ton of people, and then it just
I would say, especially within the foreigner community, everybody is very like, they're very willing to extend that hospitality. Like everyone just wants everyone to like vibe and chill and mesh. And that's something that you and I know very well, especially you.
What do you mean?
Just because no, I just mean like connecting people, networking people. Like that's a very, very strong point that you have for sure. And going off of what you said about like the support, Renee, I would definitely I would 100% agree with that. Like without those people, my experience here would have been very, very different.
Good too.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed is that you guys party hard, right?
What do you mean you notice?
What does that
mean? I mean, I saw your stories. I saw your stuff. I mean, I'm sorry I couldn't go to your party and stuff.
See, look at that. Ghosted.
Yeah,
no, I did not
I'm seeing a common theme at this table. Thank you, Renee, for not ghosting me.
Not you, Happy.
But getting back to that, yeah, you guys like to network, party, and stuff. Like people like me, introverts, are like,
oh, me too.
I can't. But I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
You're
But
so
like
cute,
I've noticed that. I mean, it's a common. I don't know if this is stereotype or not, but it's a common trait of foreigners here to like party hard, network hard. You know, make a community among themselves and stuff. Of course, there are Koreans included as well. But like, if you just look at the typical Korean person, the average person, they don't actually have those like big communities and party together and stuff. So I'm wondering if that's like I don't know, a personality or a cultural trait, or is it because you guys are in Korea that you guys like gather more frequently? And
it's definitely both.
It's both.
Both?
Yeah, for
okay.
sure.
Yeah.
It's like, a mix of both.
Shannon and I, like, we have these events where we do throw networking events to bridge the gap between Koreans and foreigners and just get people to get to know each other and build these connections. And we'll have like little games and stuff to play and drink, of course.
Yeah,
but
that's why he thinks we party.
But it's about bringing people together. But I think it's just us being foreign and being American specifically.
Yeah.
We like to.
And also just because like we were kind of touching on it a little bit earlier, but like that safety net of having at least some people that you can reach out to for help with like taxes, which I did recently, and like just other issues that you're having maybe with your visa, with housing, whatever. It helps to have people like obviously that speak the same language, but people that know where you're coming from have already dealt with that. Foreigners that have been here for a longer amount of time. So like that's something that like I'll meet a friend and Vaughn will be like, oh yeah, they helped me with my taxes, and I'm like, okay, great. Like now I know where to go.
So you just link each
you know what
other
I'm
together.
saying? Yeah, you just help each other link up. So I think like we're all craving that sense of like a safety net, if that makes sense. So it's that coupled with the fact that like we
we want to hang out, like to be lit. Not every weekend though.
No,
of course not.
There's time and a place.
Good. Yeah, I'm always like astonished at the what do you call it, the scale of the party you throw. You know, how do you pull that off? That's crazy.
It's
rent a whole entire bar that's full of people. You know, but okay. So about people and community though, like there's another layer into people as well, and I think that's love life. Yeah, relationships.
I knew this was coming.
I wanted to avoid this.
I mean, you don't have to reveal anything that seems too private for you, okay? But yeah, like a lot of people feel happiness in their love life as well, for sure, right? So how's that been so far in Korea?
I love my friends.
Okay, end of story.
I've had a good time dating here. I've enjoyed it. Yeah.
You're very lucky, my friend.
Oh. Ooh. Shannon has a different experience, maybe?
I feel like I've been like emotionally catfished a lot.
Oh, emotionally
catfished a lot. Yeah.
Oh.
I've heard that a lot.
All right, moving on.
So we can sum it up that we're happy with our friends, and
it is different for every person.
That's true.
Yeah,
okay.
Because I have some friends who are like, going on extravagant dates, this and the third, wine and dined, and then the majority of us are like listening to these stories of being ghosted or of them going to a location and then meeting someone who looks completely different than the picture.
The catfishing is real.
The catfishing is real, emotional and otherwise.
Oh yeah, so it's like very rare. I mean, I have a lot of good friends who have actually found their love of their life here and got into marriage and stuff.
And with their kids, so beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, you guys are married too. So.
No kids yet.
But yeah, like as Renee said, I've heard more stories of like, I got catfished, I got like emotionally catfished, gaslighted, ghosted, that kind of stuff. So I guess it's a little bit hard to find like sincere love here, like a little bit more harder, or
yes and no. It really depends, honestly. It's that bit
person you meet.
Yeah. Because everyone's different. I know people like to give a stereotype about Koreans and dating, but it really depends. I'll give a good story.
Okay.
Yay.
So when I moved to Korea, I started dating shortly after. And that relationship was kind of short, but it was a good 6 months. And he was super sweet, the sweetest thing ever. But very different from what I was used to in the States, where immediately after like a week or two, it was already boyfriend, girlfriend.
Yeah.
Like the messages, the what are you doing? What are you eating? Send me pictures. I was like, whoa, kind of different. Just different dating style. And then after that, because I wasn't living in Seoul at the time, once I moved to Seoul, I started dating someone else, and we dated for almost 2 years.
Oh.
So
yeah,
so
you've had like longer relationships.
I'm kind of a long relationship type of girl.
Yeah.
So for me, that was a really good experience because I didn't expect that, and we went through a lot together. And surprisingly enough, his parents were, born in Korea, raised in Korea, Korean, but super welcoming. Like they were like, oh yeah, come to our house. Like they even gave me a key to their home.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and in Korea, it's not the same in America unless you have this type of like keypad. But there's electronic, so you need a keypad or a little like electric key to get into the building, to access the building, and to access the apartment.
Yeah.
So that's like a level of trust right there.
Definitely.
Big level. And when I was having my in-between moving homes, I stayed with them for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. No questions asked. They were like, you know what? They told him like, bring her here, keep her here. It's too dangerous to have her live anywhere else. And I was so grateful. They did my laundry. They made me feel like,
oh my goodness.
They were like, you're one of us. Yeah. Like, don't worry about it. We even slept in the same room. We were saying like, oh, we'll sleep in different rooms. It's okay. And she was like, his mom was like, no.
Wow.
Yeah, super nice.
That's crazy. Like
Super
even
open.
even for like just Korean couples, that in in the first place, they would never invite you to their parents' house or like the common house or whatever, and sleeping in the same room.
Yeah. We would leave the door open though.
Yeah.
And then I would wake up to his mom like in the mornings before she went to work. She would like look, smile, and then close the door.
Oh, she loved you.
She loved you.
Oh, that's so cute.
I love her too. I miss her.
Oh.
But we're not dating anymore, so.
Did you find that the language barrier was an issue at all? Or are you fluent enough in Korean that it was okay?
Like for me, like the basic stuff was really okay, but of course when she started using big words, I was like, can you like tell me what that means again?
Big words.
The big words. But the communication was pretty good, and if I didn't understand something, she would try to explain it, or we'd use Papago, or he would come and he would explain. Yeah, so the barrier wasn't that big, but knowing Korean does help. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, that sounds like an amazing, happy experience, right?
Yeah.
I just want to ask you guys in general though, like between like you have friends, community, and love relationship, how much do you think love in particular takes part in like your happiness level here?
I feel like that's definitely person to person.
Yeah.
Person to person?
Yeah.
I think go.
Oh no, sorry. I was gonna say like the love culture here in general is very intense.
It is.
But I feel like most things in Korea are intense. Like work culture is intense, drinking culture is intense, love culture is intense. So here things move really quickly, and then there's also that assumption. It's like if you say you don't have a boyfriend, they're like, why?
Yeah.
Why not? Like,
what's
wrong with you?
Right. That's exactly why I'm asking.
I've had taxi drivers be like, why don't you have a boyfriend? Do you want to meet my nephew? I'm like, no. Yeah. So I don't know. For me, it's like it's not the most important thing, but yeah, I mean, it would be nice, but I don't see it on the same level. I think it's not like a necessity.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Bon?
I think for me, it's changed. I know like before, back when I was a teacher and things like that, because I was already set in my career at the time, like love was really important to my happiness. And like I was in a really long relationship for a while, so I was good. But then as I started getting more busy with, modeling and acting and doing everything else, like that has kind of taken priority over love. And so as long as like my work is good, then I'm happy. Okay. But like I enjoy dating and I enjoy being in relationships. So like, I don't know. I'm kind of a romantic at heart, so.
Okay, and that is an awesome segue because we were going to talk about work, passion, and self-development, all that kind of stuff. I heard already from you guys that takes a huge part in your happiness and living in Seoul. So let's get into that. So how's it been so far with your work, and how's that related to your happiness level? Yeah.
Oh, I think like recently it's been really, really good. Yeah. Like I've gotten some new opportunities that I'm really excited about. I've been working a lot. I've been very busy, and like my mood is so much better when I have stuff to do. I'm the kind of person that can't stand to be like, if I wake up in the morning and I'm like, what am I going to do today? Like I can't, that makes me crazy. Yeah. Like I can't do that. So I've been very, very blessed recently with having like good work and a consistent schedule and upcoming opportunities that I'm excited about.
Okay.
Excited to see.
Could you reveal one of your favorite jobs that made you super happy recently?
Yeah, actually I do these live shows. This is a job that I got maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, but I host a live show every Monday for like KoreaNet, which is like it's just like it's like a community that's just basically talking about and introducing Korean culture to the world. So I have to play hide and seek with this stuffed animal called Koknuni.
You play hide and seek with a stuffed animal.
Just listen. So basically, it's me and a team of like 3 ajashis, and they don't speak English, and it's the funniest combination because they're so fun, they're so sweet. But essentially, like they're gonna take me somewhere in Gyeonggi-do or outside of Seoul, or maybe like a smaller neighborhood like Insadong or something. And they hide clues around the neighborhood that are relevant to like talking points about what's specifically special about that area.
That's really cool.
And I have to follow the clues while introducing the area and also trying to find this stuffed bird.
That's so cute.
Yeah, and it's hard because originally it was scripted, and the first one it was too scripted and it didn't feel natural. Right. So then they just threw the cards out and they're like, all right, freestyle. And I was like, oh, okay. Wow. So it's basically me talking to myself for 45 minutes. But it's become so fun. Like the last episode that we filmed, the last clue that I got, it was like, in order to find Koknuni, you have to fly like Tinkerbell. And I'm looking around like, what the heck does that mean? And I look up and there's the zip line. And I was like, oh no. So sure enough, like I had to go to the top of the zip line and zip line to the end to get the the bird.
Wait, are you scared of that?
No, not at all.
I love that.
I'm down for anything. They could tell me to go scuba diving. I'd be like, all right, let's go. Like,
hey, let's go later.
But it's really fun. So I enjoy that one because I get to travel to different areas. I get to like try new food every time, and then obviously I get to do crazy, stupid stuff. Like it's so fun.
Yeah, sounds like the best job. I really enjoy those ones that take you to the places in Korea that I've never been to at all. Like, you know, like you go to Jeju Island, you try all the food over there, and you get paid for that.
So it's the best job.
So best. And I like it because we've structured it now where it's totally a surprise. I was like, just don't tell me, because it's more fun for everyone watching and for me if I don't know.
Right.
So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay. Shannon's living her life. Yeah.
Tune in on Mondays if you want to see her.
Yeah, tune in on Mondays at 2 p.m.
Hey.
And what about you guys?
You can take it away. What was the question?
Related to your work and ambition here, like how happy are you?
No, I think Shannon and I are the same when it comes to that. Like I'm the same type of person. Like I hate to be idle or not know what I'm doing, and I like to keep working and finding new projects to work on and get my hand in a bunch of different pots. But I guess right now the thing that's been like driving me and making me the happiest, besides like my normal work, is doing the parties and doing the events to bring people together, because I'm such a people person and just love bringing that together.
And you're so good at it.
Thank you.
He is like the social butterfly of Seoul. Like, and I mean that so seriously. Like I've described you to other people before as like the network is a web in a sense of people, and you're the spider.
Yeah.
Like,
you just said he's a butterfly.
Well, okay, a lot of bug analogies, but
that's like totally different enemy opponents.
Well, like,
okay, sorry about that.
You got what I meant, right? Like he's kind of the reason that everyone knows everyone. Like everyone's like, oh, you're the girl from Vaughn's Stories, or like, oh, how do you know Vaughn? Like, oh, do you know Vaughn? Like everybody just is talking like that.
No, it's cool though, because I like I said earlier, I like bringing people together, but not only just like for friendships, but it also creates new work opportunities for everybody as well, because like somebody has this kind of skill and somebody's looking for this, and somebody, you know,
so you're helping each other eventually. That's so good.
That's what you got to do. Like when you have a support system, you guys build. If one of us is winning, then we're all winning,
and you feel happiness from that too, right?
Oh yeah,
obviously.
I think because I come from a big family, so we like to have that.
How many kids?
Well, when my great grandmother moved to the States, they had 19 kids.
Whoa.
We have a huge family on my dad's side.
Oh my God.
There was nothing to do back in the day. Just pop them out.
They were doing plenty.
So yeah, it's a lot of us. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I just want to ask one thing though. Like initially you came to Korea with seeking a teaching job, right?
Yeah.
So like your job changed in the middle. And how did that affect your happiness?
Oh, okay. So I came here thinking I would just teach for 1 year, be done with teaching and whatever. But then once I came to Seoul, something in me just kind of like felt alive. And I was like, I will kick myself if I don't move to Seoul for at least 1 year.
Okay.
But while here, that's when COVID hit, and then which sucked. And of course, I couldn't teach or do anything.
Yeah.
But then I was like, I'm just going to start making videos. So I started making videos and then got picked up by a YouTube channel to be on their channel, which spiraled into eventually me doing more modeling work and everything, and then my happiness like skyrocketed from there, because it's what I wanted to do anyway, like back in the States and when I lived in Busan. I didn't realize how far Busan and Seoul were, so you can't just go back and forth,
right.
But like that's why I said I think I've been the most happiest that I've been since moving here, because I can actually pursue what I want to actually do.
Okay,
agreed.
Okay. And how do you agree, Renee?
100% agree. Like once I moved to Seoul, I was able to start modeling, and at the time there weren't a lot of Black models, or even models who were considered like kind of healthy weight. So I was considered healthy. Like this is literally the term they gave me. Not glamorous, but healthy, fit.
They like to tiptoe.
But I took that as an opportunity to say, hey, you know, representation is important, and if I have to be the one to start that, then so be it. And I haven't looked back, and it's been the most rewarding thing to like see how it's changed. More people have been coming, and there's more diversity. It just makes me really happy.
Okay.
Shout out,
You're the
Renee.
pioneer. Yeah.
Wow, you guys are serving like a higher purpose than your own happiness, like your personal happiness here. So Shannon, what about you? Like, do you have a higher purpose?
Do you have a higher purpose?
Putting you on the spot. Yeah.
No, I mean, I definitely think so. Like I can agree with Renee. Like I've also experienced like comments and stuff like that. People are just saying like, like, oh, like you're healthy, or like you should lose weight, like just those comments. And like being on photo shoots before, people have said like your thighs are too big, and just like stuff like that. And I was a model before in the States, actually, so to hear that sort of narrative really switch, like I'd heard, you know, horror stories about coming here and how like detrimental like modeling could be to someone's mental health and stuff. And Vaughn, you know, also like I actually did go through like a very like where I felt like I had to fit that standard, and it became very unhealthy for me in a sense. Like I ended up in the hospital. It was like a whole thing. But yeah, like so it kind of, but that pushed me into a direction where I felt a lot more empowered to be healthy and to not feel any remorse about that, to not feel bad about taking care of my body, for working out. Like I love to work out. I like to be like muscular and have curves, and like I'm fine with that. If someone doesn't want to book me for that, that's not my problem.
Exactly.
And
somebody
so, like,
else will.
Yeah. So it's just like I've sort of reached that as well. And then also not being like, I think my particular higher purpose is not being one thing. I've never been one thing, and I don't ever think I could be. Like I am a singer. I'm also I've done choreography before. I host these live shows. I have a degree in medicine. Like I just don't see the point in like stopping in any particular direction. So yeah, I like to just put everything out there because I can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that is impressive. Like every time I have guests here, like I don't know how I get these guests. They're all so multi-talented. It's crazy. Okay.
Can I say something about that?
Yeah,
too,
sure.
I think it's funny when people ask like, "Oh, what do you do?" And you say like, that's why I always say I do entertainment, because you don't ever want to say like, "Oh, I'm just a model," or "I do this." No,
because they immediately think photo shoot and that's it.
Or they think or like, "Why are you trying to do many different things?" Why wouldn't I? Like,
the sky is not even the limit.
Yeah,
exactly.
but that's
Don't put
the
yourself
beauty
in a
of
box.
Seoul. That is the beauty of Seoul. I can say that much, because like having that experience in the States as well, like here, you really can like do anything you want to. Like there's always an opportunity in whatever direction you decide to go. Yeah, so that definitely lends to like the happiness factor that we were talking about with freedom.
I
and
think
all that.
also it's really about actually speaking about what you want. You know, you have to say it out loud for others to hear you or connect with you. I think a lot of people get here and they don't say what it is that they want, or they think that they have to be stuck in a teaching job when it's just something that they did just to come to the country or pay bills. But in actuality, you are way more diverse and multifaceted than, you know, the society might want you to think. So please do explore that part of yourself.
Yeah, I think that's a great message, because I think what we can get from all your stories is that to achieve happiness in Seoul or wherever in the world, it's like, you know, go pursue your passion, go pursue your ambition, your dream, and in that process you'll meet people, you'll serve a bigger purpose or whatever, and the result of that is going to be happiness. So I think and as Shannon said, Seoul provides a lot of opportunities in that way as well. So I think Seoul is like an up and rising city for more diversity and more foreigners down the road. So like it's definitely growing. So I think there would definitely be more happiness, more opportunities, and everything. So come on over, everybody.
I'm super happy to see that there are more foreigners here and foreign-owned businesses, because the food is tasting authentic.
It's getting there. It's
okay, let's get to the food then. I mean, I was going to that place anyways. Basic needs and like convenience, food, shelter, everything like that. So since you talked about food, let's touch on that first.
Oh my God.
Food makes you happy?
I love
incredibly.
I love food. No, but also I started to miss, like, you know, just the way we make pancakes. Like,
pancakes?
Yeah, you know, like it's really random, but like Korea has their stereotypical pancake is like a souffle kind of like
the jiggly.
Yeah, the jiggly. Like that's not pancakes.
Okay.
Please, Chiba. Like pancakes, you know, they should be browned, you know.
Like the crispy edges.
Yeah, and you eat them with syrup, you know, and kind of maple syrup.
Maple syrup, yeah.
Like it's so good. Or honey if you want to, you know. But and savory. I think Korea adds a lot of sugar to even meats. And so that's something that I started to miss once I like got over the honeymoon phase. I was like, oh, I actually miss salt.
Like the garlic bread. The garlic bread
has
threw
sugar.
me.
It's sweet.
Everything is sweet.
So sweet.
It's sweet garlic bread. I shit you not. There's a sorry. I'm sorry.
That's whatever you want.
So in CU or GS25 or one of the Pyeongchans, there's like this bar of chocolate that is garlic flavored, and I'm not kidding. It's so delicious, but it's sweet and it's bizarre. Like my brain was, everything about my body was confused. Like,
a chocolate bar that's garlic
you
flavored,
can look
that's
it up.
sweet.
I'm not even kidding. It's
I believe you.
Yeah. I'm not even. I wish I was kidding.
Wait, but then your lack of salt in the pancakes and everything, that doesn't lead to happiness though, right? That kind of derailed somewhere down the point.
Oh yeah, but
She's like, wait.
but wait. But then there are places like Original Pancake House, and then there are more foreign-owned businesses.
Yes.
Itaewon and also
Butterfinger pancakes.
Butterfingers.
Butterfinger pancakes.
And there's also another location in Shinsa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like there's more foreign-owned businesses as well that are coming and bringing their authentic food. So it's amazing, like Ethiopian food, Moroccan food. There's Nigerian food. I'm West African. My parents are from Liberia, so I identify as Liberian American. So in order to find food that's kind of similar to what I grew up with, I have to go to African restaurants or eat something from the continent. You know, like
Gotcha.
Yeah. So loving it. Yeah.
I can honestly say I have tried a wider variety of food in Seoul than I did in the States.
Yes.
But that
That's
could
so
just
true.
be from where I was particularly from, which was a more rural area. Like we didn't have any Korean food, for example. Like in Winston-Salem, Greensboro, like we didn't really have any of that over there. And then when I come here, I can have Thai or Vietnamese or Japanese or Korean or American, as we're saying. The pancakes were a little lackluster for a while, but
They came back.
It's getting better. I recently found the first good tacos that I've had in Korea.
Oh, where is it? You gotta
Yeah.
share it.
It was this place in Itaewon.
Crispy Pork Town.
It might have been because it was one that you recommended.
Crispy Pork Town.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta try it out then.
I love that place.
Yeah, but also in Itaewon, which we've mentioned quite a bit, but that's a large foreigner area for people that aren't aware. And specifically for food, there's a lot of like kebabs, and there's a Moroccan place and Mediterranean, kind of whatever you're looking for, vegan options as well.
Heaven.
Yeah, so food here is incredible. Like,
I kind of agree. Even as a Korean, like, you know, if I had to compare Seoul to some city in the U.S., it would be New York, maybe, because of the diversity
like
of
Little Italy, Chinatown.
options you get. Like whenever you go to a mall or like a neighborhood, you get a diversity of food and stuff. So that's a great point, because I always got homesick whenever I traveled, because I'm picky with my food as well. So I want some Korean, I want some Asian food, but like it's only like, you know, fries and potatoes and whatever. Like, so yeah, like you get that diversity in Seoul, and I think that's a great point. Like everyone as a foreigner here might have a point. There might be a point when they miss their home style food and their like continent's food or whatever.
Yeah,
So,
it's true.
yeah, you
And
can
also,
get that. Yeah.
it's getting better in terms of
Authenticity.
authenticity, yes, but there are more Koreans that are becoming vegan as well. So even now in like the Pyeongjam, the GS20 convenience stores, the convenience stores, you can find some vegan dumplings, and drinks. And I think that's really important, because not everyone chooses veganism or vegetarianism just because of their personal choice. It could be because of health reasons. So it's nice to see that Korea's kind of getting in par with that. There's not a lot, but it's there are more options. There are more options.
It's coming.
It's coming. It's coming. And there was a huge vegan what is it called?
Plant.
No. There's like a convention, huge vegan convention.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
The COEX, right?
Yeah, it was super huge, and the food was amazing, and I was so happy to see that, because that means more options. For me, I love like eating everything, but personally my body's like, you can't do that. So for me, I have to do like non-dairy options sometimes. So having oat milk available here is really nice and stuff like that.
I just noticed that the experiences might be drastically different among foreigners, even because like a running topic is always like halal food for Muslims and vegans and vegetarians in Korea. They have a drastically different experience because it's so hard to get food, you know, like halal food, vegan food. And as Renee said, it's growing, but it's still in such a early phase. Like it's not that accessible.
Not
I would
that
say
accessible, but definitely better than like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah,
I'm so
it's
shocked.
changed a
it is
lot.
popping. Yeah.
Like there's so many restaurants even popping up, you know.
The way you said that, it was like, it's popping.
It's popping. It's popping.
Popping. Okay, popping.
There you go. You gotta put a little.
Yeah, I'm excited. You guys should try it out. Come and see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did have a friend here a couple years ago. She was like very strictly vegan, and she could barely eat Korean food because of it's like the oils and stuff. It's like fish oil or something like that. Like, so yeah, it's really nice to see that everything's on the come up.
Right, right. And since we've touched food, let's go to the other basic needs as well. What about like housing and stuff? As that, I won't expect. I don't expect a lot of good experiences about that here, but
I will say when I first moved to Korea, because like before I moved here, I watched a lot of like videos on like housing in Korea, so I expected something a little different. I knew it'd be like small housing as a teacher coming in here, but when I first like walked into my apartment, I just like wanted to cry because it was like the size of a closet, and I was like, what am I supposed to do?
Right. New York, it's like New York.
What am I supposed to do? But after a while, like, you know, after you decorate it and you live there for a while, you make it your own, and then it feels really homey.
That's true.
But then I learned that, there are other options that I can put down a deposit and get a bigger place. And, because I'm a person who likes to have a lot of space. Yeah.
I think for me, the biggest adjustment was like again, I also watched videos and I kind of knew what to expect, but it's like once you actually get here and you open the door for the first time and you're like, this is it. Like,
this is it here now.
But it was like not having like an actual stove or oven, and then not having like a separate shower. Like it's just all in the bathroom. Like your toilet gets wet when you take a shower, which is a bizarre concept for a lot of people from like the States or you know, out west or whatever. But that was the biggest adjustment for me. And then the ondol from the floor heating. The floor heating. I had that wrong for a minute, and it was like out, like it was like burning. Oh no!
It's like living hell, you know.
And then I got my first electricity bill, and I was like, "What?"
Oh my god!
Because I didn't know, I couldn't read like how to turn it all. Yeah, it was a mess. But
I did that too. I like turned my thing. I turned my floor heat up to like 26 or 27 because I didn't know Celsius, and then I just went to sleep. And I got up. I was like dying. Then I tried to like walk on the floor. I was dying again. I was like, what is this?
Like SpongeBob, like
I was all decrepit. Like,
that's so funny. Oh, that's so funny. Oh my god. Okay.
So learn Celsius for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
I will say I miss having an oven the most because I like to cook and I like to bake. But I like to bake.
I'll come over.
Well, you can't. You just have
I don't have an oven, but you can still come over.
Yeah, but I assume that the housing part, the like small apartments and the small space and lack of infrastructure and all that kind of stuff might not be the happiest experience. Yeah, I think we can say that. You agree too, Renee?
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay, so let's skip the housing part and let's go to.
There are some good things about it too.
For sure.
Like I do actually like the ondol, the heat coming from the floor.
God, so
once you get used to it.
Yeah, once you get used to it, it's really convenient. But also there are like share houses, and sometimes there are places that will let you rent a space with your friends. So it will be like so Korea has lots of apartments.
Yeah.
Let me put that out there. Lots of apartments. And when you're single, it's kind of hard to find a space that's like those apartments because those apartments are really nice. And the system is so different from the States in terms of like deposits. So whereas our deposits are probably like a month's worth of rent or a month and a half, up to 3 months maybe, Korea's deposits are like 10K plus.
Yeah.
It's
50K. And that's not even like the most expensive. So there are some studios within those like big buildings that are actually rented out to people who are single or to people who want to rent with their friends. And so the accommodations are really nice. So there are those options, but it's just about going to the right 부동산 or real estate agent and finding that out.
Yeah. But in general, I would say like the first house you get, it's gonna be kind of shitty.
I
Give them hope.
Yeah, I do have to say.
No, it's the reality. We don't sugarcoat here.
I think Vaughn, you saw my old apartment.
Hers was nice.
It was so
good?
nice.
Where was it?
It was in so I lived in Gangdong-gu, so near like Jamsil.
Jamsil is really nice.
But like my apartment was actually like, it was not, okay, first of all, it was not the one that they sent me pictures of and said that it was going to be. So at first I was very like, I was kind of mad about it because it was not what I was expecting. It was completely different. But then the sun came up the next day and I have these big, beautiful windows and I look out the window and I see Lotte Tower. And it was so gorgeous. Nice. And everything was glass and it was tiny, but it was so nice. So I definitely got lucky the first time. But I was going to say also about like the housing thing, the whole process of like moving houses and stuff happens so fast.
Oh yeah.
So fast. Like in the States, you need to like plan months and months in advance if you're going to move. Like you have to let people know beforehand. You have to like go look at it and like sign the lease 6 months before you move it. Like it's very involved. But here it's like, okay, I'm coming to look at the apartment at 3. Are we going to sign the papers at 6 and you're moving in at 9 a.m., right?
That's not even a joke.
Yeah. It's so fast. It's insane. So like if you're planning to move, it needs to be within the week that you're planning it. Because if you wait longer than that, the apartment that you're looking at will disappear. Like it'll go off the market in 2 seconds. So yeah, just keep that in mind. If you guys are going to move, like it's got to be really quick.
Yeah.
I will say for those first apartments though, it does teach you how to be a minimalist. Though.
Yeah.
So if you
definitely.
struggle with that, like really,
I feel like you guys are trying to like see the silver lining. You know,
Yeah,
so
really
hard.
trying,
You know,
really trying.
It's shitty, but like you can find these
do
kind
it,
of
yeah.
conveniences in those
But
housing situations.
It's not shitty though. It only feels that way because where we come from originally is so different.
yeah.
So-
Yeah, I know.
But
Like,
yeah.
I think most of the Americans that the U.S. citizens that come over to Korea, in their first experience is going to be like, what is this?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
But you learn to appreciate it. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, Daiso makes the dream work.
Yeah. Oh
Honestly,
my God.
honestly.
100%.
Daiso makes me happy.
Makes me happy too.
No,
In terms of-
Daiso solves 90% of your problems,
Yes.
like in Korea, and that's no joke.
Yes.
It's a combination of like,
Walmart and like the dollar store.
shop.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah. Like,
So good quality but cheaper.
well, I wouldn't say good quality. That's
It's good enough.
It works.
It works.
Yeah.
If you pay the extra like $1,000, then it's the good. Like it's the $2 versus the $3 one.
It makes
or
a
five,
difference.
or
It
yeah.
does. It really
Sometimes
does.
the 5 ones, I'm like, that's too expensive.
That's too expensive.
Not at Daiso.
Okay. So we were talking about housing. I mean, housing is like mid here, I guess.
Mid,
but-
not mid.
Yeah, but what about like basic in terms of basic needs, safety?
Oh my
Safety.
God, I feel so
Amazing.
much.
I mean, you
safer.
have to be safe to be happy, right?
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
basic thing.
I feel safety here, like one, just within the society alone, like just, you can walk anywhere alone, nothing's gonna happen to you for the most part,
For the most part.
But
yeah.
I personally, as a African American male, feel safety within the police force here. So that's why I
Oh.
feel safe here too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah,
I've never
like-
heard this perspective before.
Just because, like, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the things that happen in the United States
Oh,
when it
yeah.
comes to
Right.
black
In the
people and the
media.
police and the
Yeah.
media, and there's a lot of like police
Brutality. and stuff.
brutality
Yeah.
against minorities.
Mhm.
But I don't feel like that here, or that I have to fear the police, or if the police do get involved, then I feel like I'm gonna be heard or not disrespected in any way, or have to fear for my life in any way. So that's a real fear of mine that I have when I'm back home,
yeah.
that I don't have here.
Okay.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
Like
that's
I feel like in the States, if you get like if you didn't do anything wrong but you walk past the cop, you're like, okay. Like you're like, oh, like what did I do? Like even if you didn't do anything, like there's
Right.
that sense of like anxiety, I guess, about it. But here, like, no, you can walk up and give them a high five.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter.
Police here are very nice.
Right.
Yeah. And then as I was gonna say on a different perspective, like as a woman here, I definitely feel more safe.
Mm.
Like growing up in the States, I can't speak for everyone, but this was just my experience. But like my dad always told me, like, don't wear your hair in a ponytail, don't walk by yourself, don't have both headphones in at night. Like, yeah, stuff like that, because it makes it easier for people to grab you.
Oh, I was
Yes.
wondering about the ponytail.
Yeah.
What?
So
What?
every time, like, I worked at this sports bar in downtown Charlotte, or uptown. Don't come for me in the
Uptown.
comments. You have to. It's a
Uptown,
very
uptown.
important distinction in uptown Charlotte. And like like every time before I was leaving, it would be like maybe 12, like not
Okay.
super late. They would have like one of the bouncers walk with me to my car, and there was one time that didn't happen and someone followed me, so I ran back in and I took my hair out of my ponytail and I like took off my baggy jacket and I asked the bouncer to walk me to my car, like, and it was a very real like situation, and
Oh
I
my
hesitate to say,
God.
but it was like normal.
Yeah.
It was, we were conditioned to feel like, that was
That's
just kind of
true.
happened.
what happens. Yeah,
Oh.
but here, like, I haven't had anything like that.
Yeah.
I would say for the most part, right? Because there are some instances
there
where
are
things do
some.
happen.
Mm.
But I go exercising like 4 a.m. if I can't sleep,
Yeah.
like
Isn't
it's
that
really,
too late? You exercise at 4 a.m. So
why
do
not?
do you stay up until 4, or do you wake up at 4 until?
Like I'm probably still up.
Oh,
Like
okay.
if I
Yeah.
can't go to
Exercise
sleep,
soon.
like I go for like a 2-hour walk and just like clear my head and then come back home.
Yeah,
Okay.
but you can like the freedom to just walk around and not
Mhm.
feel
It's so
scared
nice.
is so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
I did that with some friends the other day, and we were walking. We came to this
At
like
4 a.m.
Well, it was probably like getting close to there, but it was like this like sketchy little road, and we were like, let's walk down there, and we were like, this is so pretty, but we're like, this we would never do this in America.
Oh my God, never.
I was like,
Never.
people in America are crazy. Someone would jump out of the bushes and just stab me for
my
no
God.
reason, just because they could. Like,
It's so true. Like a crackhead just comes crawling
that's
out.
what I'm
Oh,
saying.
no.
We got crackheads. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we don't have drugs here. We don't have guns. We don't.
I
have...
do. Yeah, I do think it's important to make the distinction.
Okay, Renee,
I
that's
feel like
different.
I'm gonna err on the side of caution, but I'm just gonna be like, there's less things here.
Yeah,
yes.
of course.
It's not like
Less
they
things.
do exist, but
They
in
do
a
exist,
very,
yeah.
very much smaller scale.
Right.
Yes,
So
very smaller scale.
yeah, like ladies who are listening, I'm not advertising that you go walk alone at night. That's still not in general the safest thing to do, but here I've been able to do it.
and with no problems.
Yeah,
And
like 99% of the time have no issues.
And the club, still keep
Oh,
your eye
and
on
the
your
club,
drink.
Be careful.
yes.
Still keep
Yes.
your eye on your drink.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, but other
Yeah.
than that, pretty good.
I think that is one of the biggest pros of Korea.
You should
Oh,
be proud of that.
definitely.
Yeah,
For sure.
like
Proud
the
of that.
safety. I've noticed like a lot of foreigners appreciate that so much. Like
Mm.
the fact that you don't get mugged or you don't get your stuff stolen and
There's
stuff.
CCTVs
yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Like,
Don't even try.
yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
It's so true. Like I can leave like my wallet on the table and walk away for 20 minutes, come back and it's still there.
Yo, it's
Yeah.
the best
Don't do
thing.
that,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying you can.
I left. I've left my phone in the bathroom, like at
Yeah,
like a random
right.
place, and I've like just like gone on my way on the subway, and I'm like 5 stations away. I'm like, oh shit, I forgot my phone, and I went back and it was still there.
So there, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's also like something that I thought was interesting. When you do lose something like a wallet or a passport or something like that, there's that website. What is it? 11211. There's a website, and if I can find it, I'll send it to you and you can link it in the description. But it's like a lost and found website in
Oh,
Korea.
interesting.
Yeah. And so like you just mention like a description or a photo of what you lost, and then like it'll either get turned into a police station or it'll find its way back to you at some point. I've had friends that have lost like entire purses on a night out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how you lose a whole purse, but like but they got it back like a week or two later because someone saw their listing and then turned it into the police station.
Oh, the listing.
Honor system.
Because I've heard of people just receiving things in the mail and it was their lost item.
Yeah, that's how
that
it
too.
works.
So without even like putting the listing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like usually if you lose a wallet and there's an ID card in there, if you
Yeah.
just put it in the mailbox, it gets sent to you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so-
very
That's
cool.
nice.
Yeah,
Never
so-
exists in America. They'll take it out of your pocket.
Yeah.
You don't even have to do that.
Yeah.
But another thing about the safety is specifically coming from like an American perspective. I just had a random flashback of like when I think it was like my first week out of quarantine here. There was like one of those packing peanut bag things on the road and a car ran over it and it was like pop, like it made a really loud sound.
Oh.
And I immediately like ducked.
Yeah.
And like my friend was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
oh.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, you're American."
Yeah.
I was like,
Gun.
yeah.
Oh.
That's true.
Yeah, I thought it was a
Yeah.
gunshot at first.
Wow. Yeah. I think we are blessed to not have guns
Yeah.
here
Yes.
in Korea.
Yes, definitely.
Or like the safety, the premise of it is like you don't have to worry too much about your like, you know,
Your belongings or
getting
things like
physically
that.
harmed or
Yeah.
anything. So I think that's one factor that makes you able to be happy, right?
Mhm.
So actually we've been talking a lot and I've listed a lot of stuff to talk about today, but it goes among like transportation, cleanliness, food, convenience. We've pretty much, you
Kind of
know,
hit those.
kind of
Yeah.
talked about that. We have a consensus that it's pretty good over
Yeah,
here.
the convenience.
Yeah, it's very
Wow.
fun over here as well. There's the entertainment, like Seoul's well equipped with entertainment.
Always something to do.
Always
Yeah.
something to do. That's always what I hear from my friends.
Yeah, if you get bored, it's your fault.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't
Yeah.
be boring.
And let's talk a little bit about the culture here, like the cultural experiences that make you happy. Do you guys have any episodes in particular? That...
I feel like I've experienced Korean jong.
Jong,
like,
yes.
Yeah. Look, so it's like a deep affection,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but it's like Korea's term for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's the simplest example would be like if you tutor a kid and the mom gives you like extra cookies or something on your way out. She's like,
like a lot
thank
of
you for today.
service.
Yeah. Or if you go to, let's say example, because tax season, the tax office, and you have no idea what's going on, but there's something wrong with your form and someone doesn't have to, but they say, hey, okay, just sit here and like I'll fix it for you. Don't worry about it. You know,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
like those little acts of kindness that really go a long way.
Yeah, and they're very common. Like Koreans, I feel like are very gracious like people. Like they'll express their gratitude very openly. Like they'll give you service, like a service object or like extra food or something like that. Like they're just very sweet. Like there's a little ajumma at the matsup near my house, and like I always go to her, and like we have a connection. She knows I'm gonna get the kimchi jjigae every time. But she started giving me like an extra bowl of rice. And, like she's just very sweet. So yeah, I think I've experienced that as well.
Okay.
Everyone here is really like helpful and accommodating, and I feel like you don't get that everywhere that you go. Like even if a foreigner looks lost or something, someone will come up and try to help you, or even if there's a language barrier, if you need help with anything, they'll figure it out. Like they'll help you figure something out.
I've had like older like grandpas, you know, harabojis, like come up to me and start speaking English. Like, are you lost? And I'm like, no, I'm okay. Thank you. Super nice.
Yeah. Okay. So that Jung kind of makes you happy here.
Yeah,
like,
yes, definitely.
It makes you like belong as like one of the society member. And I've heard a lot of Americans compare that to a similar concept, like Southern hospitality. Similar to that.
We have that.
Yeah. So you kind of feel that when you're in Korea, but not to everybody, like on the street, right? Like,
of course,
no.
In general, I think my perception of Koreans, maybe it's because Korean to Korean, but like they're very cold and like they don't like to talk to strangers, and like everybody minds their own business. But
I've heard
once
that a lot,
once something happens and someone is in need, people are ready to help you.
Yeah. And sometimes people will go like out of their way to help you.
Right.
Like, they'll like do it too much. I'm like, wait, no.
That's too much.
You can stop. Yeah. But no, I think it's very interesting that you touched on like the fact that you think they're cold, because in some senses, yes, like on the subway, for example, don't talk to anybody. Like nobody will talk to you. It's very quiet because like it's just sort of a cultural norm to respect everyone's space, to respect everyone's like just ability to not speak. You know what I'm saying? But then on the other hand, people are very kind and very like willing to help. So like there's two different sides of the same coin. That makes sense.
You just have to know when.
Yeah.
Would you recommend your friends from the States or somewhere in the world to come to Korea? Would you invite them?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
100%.
And do you think they would have a high possibility of being happy here?
I think that, like I said, my point earlier, if you're going to come over here as a foreigner, you definitely need to be open-minded and realize that like you can't always come in with the same mentality that you have in your country and come here. Like you have to be open to Korea's cultures and norms and things like that. But also don't let people take advantage of you.
Yes.
Like, there was a point that I wanted to make off of her's resources and the hagwons and stuff like that, because I know a lot of people want to come over here
as teachers
and work for a hagwon, but
you need to be insured. Like do not let your hagwon tell you that you do not need health insurance, because that is illegal. There you go.
Yeah. I'm saying, like, read your contract, make sure you know everything that's going on in there, but don't let them work you to the bone just so you can be here and experience, your K-pop fantasy or whatever reason that you're coming over here. Like I was even at a school once and I didn't stay there long, but they had me working from like my whole shift 8 hours straight through with no break. I would have to come in early and stay late. And I got one break, which was 15 minutes, and I had to take it before my shift started.
Oh.
I didn't stay there long.
Oh.
But they tried to gaslight me into thinking like, if you quit this school, like you'll never be hired again at another school, like you'll have to go back to your country, blah blah.
Yeah, they will try to gaslight you.
I took my risk, and I was hired by another school the next month, so don't.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Okay, so
but aside from that, my mom, for example, is visiting next week, and she just recently started, because like I've lived here for a while, obviously, so my family hears me talk about it. But I encouraged her to like go online and like look at like vlog style videos more so, because people are just like walking around, and she is so excited to come now, and like I can't wait to like. I'm just like, it makes me realize how much I love Seoul, like the fact that I'm getting so giddy about like having her experience all of this with me, like, so I would highly recommend it. Like at least come visit, at least come check it out. But if you are going to come live here, like we've all said before, like definitely have that air of caution, take everything with a grain of salt. It's a different culture, different language, different country. So yeah. Okay. But be open-minded.
Yes. Okay. Come.
Yeah. Come hang out.
I'm glad to hear that everybody's satisfied, happy, living their life here. This is a very dramatic question, though. I'll just ask
the lights.
I feel like I already know what you're gonna ask.
Would you consider living in Korea/Seoul for the rest of your life? Like as your foundation?
I would consider it, but I don't know.
If I could be based here and still go to other places to work, then yes.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And especially if like laws and things are changing for foreigners, then yes.
Okay.
I agree 100% with that last bit.
Okay.
If I got to a point where I could financially like go home and see my family or be with my family, then yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
Okay.
Like just constantly being able to have both.
Going back
Or bring them here.
Yeah, we're bringing them
Yeah,
here.
then if I could bring my family here, I wouldn't leave.
Dude, if my dad came, game over. My dad's the coolest person ever.
Yeah, he is. I love her dad.
Maybe he can be on the podcast.
Oh my gosh,
Oh my
dude,
God.
you don't even know. It would be amazing.
Yeah. Okay. So we've been talking for a while, but I just want to end the episode with the final question. Actually, 2 questions. That might lead on to a little bit of more talking. But so the first one is, what was your happiest moment here? Pick one moment.
One?
Yeah.
That's impossible.
Happiest moment here that you can remember.
Wait, that's gonna take some time.
Oh, wait. Can it just be a recent one? Not
Yeah,
like the
sure.
most happy ever.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
But first one that comes to mind, when we were by the river, like riding bikes at the Han.
That was really sweet.
It was the most wholesome day ever. So I had a really shit day the day before.
Oh.
And like Vaughn was like, you know what? We're going to go to the river with some friends. Like you should come. And I was like, okay. So I went and we just had the most wholesome like Han River date, like something you would see in a K-drama. We had like a picnic. We were playing games and talking. And then as the sun starts to set, like we are like leaving. We were in Yeouido at the time. We were leaving Yeouido and we hopped on these bikes and we just rode bikes all the way from Yeouido to Hapjeong. But it was
like a
so
perfect day.
it was so cinematic and just beautiful.
We got a lot of cool pictures and stuff
Oh
out
my
of
god!
it.
It was
dope.
like I was like, damn, like we live in Korea. This is amazing. I was like, look at the river, and I'm like crying.
Yeah.
It was really
That must have been
good.
good.
That
It
was
was
that was
really
like
good.
such a wholesome, happy moment for me.
Always with friends.
Yeah.
friends
Thank you
make
for
it
that, by
happen.
the way.
Okay, you guys, happiest moment?
I was just gonna say the happiest moment in Korea was probably when I just recently came back in August and I brought my dog here from America.
Oh.
So Cyrus has been loving it here, and I feel a lot happier now that I have him here because I've had him since 2015. So
That was dope. Yeah.
I think recent like career happy moment was being featured in Singles Magazine, and then
Yes,
like
ma'am.
Wow.
yeah.
and then recent like just happy living was me realizing, you know, from spending time with friends, being celebrated for birthday month, and writing in my journal, realizing that like a few years ago when I was back home in Jersey, thinking about where I wanted to live, and you know, it was Korea, and now I'm here actually doing what I want to do. So it's like, you know, a complete
Manifested
circle.
that.
A dream come true. Yeah.
Dream come true.
I gotta agree with you on that. I also keep a journal, but some of my happiest moments are the more like soft moments when like I have my headphones in and I'm just walking around like the city and I'm just like,
I'm here.
I'm here now.
Yeah.
Like
Subtle
this is what
things,
is what I wanted.
Like I saw in that drama, he was eating that tteokbokki, and I wanted that, and now I'm eating that.
Always goes back to food.
Yeah, I love food, guys.
Okay, food, dog. Oh, that's not good together. Food and dog. Anyways,
Dogs,
companionship.
friends,
Yeah. But yeah, that's all the source of our happiness here, and I feel like everybody's having a good life here, and I'm so happy for you guys as well. And yeah, so this was the Korean Pizza Club. I haven't felt this sort of like happy closure in a while, because it's always been, you know, Korea's, you know, going against war on drugs, you know, of the population's decreasing, you know, all that kind of stuff. So it was always heavy and dark, but today was a very wholesome topic, and
it was fun. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
yeah,
we can
thank
group
you for
hug
coming.
after.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do we like?
Yeah, group hug.
Yeah, let's do it. Yay!
I couldn't get behind that.
So yeah, thanks for coming, guys. If you have anything you want to promote, this is the time. Yeah, just plug it in. Anything? Instagram?
I would say keep up with me on Instagram. I've got some big stuff coming up at the end of the summer, so stay tuned for that at Shannon Harper with 3 R's at the end.
Okay.
I have a few projects in the works right now as well, so that'll be coming out in the next few weeks. But also, if you're interested in connecting with people, every month I throw a party. Usually it's the third Thursday of the month, so I'll be having something later in June. So Bon Voyage, it'll be down there, I hope.
Okay. DM. Yeah.
That's amazing. Lovely. For me, you'll see it when you see it. Sorry, guys, I can't say anything. But if you want to keep up with me, it's Renee Dreams Art on both or all platforms: Instagram, YouTube.
All platforms.
Just Renee Dreams
just
Art.
not Facebook.
Facebook,
TikTok.
Pinterest.
Oh yeah. Just Renee Dreams Art.
All right.
Okay. So thanks again for coming, guys. This was such a happy episode, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.